computer. And I appreciate my 3 camera views. I posted that picture on our Instagram and Facebook yesterday from yesterday's lecture. Maybe try that again today, since we have a few of you I know want to show your faces on those platforms. So we'll try that. Still had a holdout or two. I was kind of like, wow, they even logged off to keep from opening up their camera. But we're recording, so now we're going to share screen. So I'm going to go to our lecture. I think it's lecture 20, the superficial mycosis dermatophytes. And this will continue and this is kind of spread out through the book for a few chapters. And I wanted to definitely note that if you hadn't. I've got chapters 60, 62, 59, 61. So all in that area of the text. This could bounce around a little bit through those chapters. So you could definitely look for those chapters questions to show up on your review quiz coming up next week. All right. And of course, all of this is on Blackboard. So you have those study guides for lecture. Sorry, we didn't print all those off for you before we disappeared. I thought about that over Thanksgiving. I was like, well, that might have been nice of you, Mr. Director, to do that for everybody. But I forgot. So superficial mycosis. So these are fungal infections involving the skin and hair, outermost keratinized layers, stratum corneum. Pathology, typically there's no inflammation, reaction, or tissue destruction. So these are the ones we've seen from the slideshow that we had, which was showing discolorization. So it looks like, oh, that's just somebody that has a birthmark, or that's somebody that just has darker skin in that area. And it could actually be a fungal infection. So pityriasis versicolor, aka tinea versicolor. We'll go that way. So pityriasis, chronic superficial skin infection, and then we have our causative agent that we're starting to associate. You've already seen the slide. You've already seen the name. Malassezia furfur, a lipophilic yeast that requires exogenous fatty acid. So now you kind of get an idea of why it's where on our skin. Predisposing factors, excessive perspiration. And if you didn't know what that was, if you've ever had somebody, I know there's some really good Saturday Night Live skits with excessive perspiration. Hyperhidrosis. Malnutrition is another. Poor hygiene in pregnancy or predisposing a patient to these. Occurs most often in young adults who use palm oil and other lipids on their skin. So I know you're like, oh, I need to hydrate my skin, need to use all these extra stuff, but you could be supplying a food source for a yeast. So keep that in mind. So the lesion is scaly patches of smooth skin of the arms, abdomen, and face. White-skinned individuals have a hyperpigmentation. The lesion appears as darker than normal skin. So you get these brownish spatches or spotches on the skin. Dark-skinned individuals have a hypopigmentation. So the lesions appear lighter than normal. So, you maybe news for you white-skinned individuals and news for you dark-skinned individuals that we are different in the way that these appear on us. So it's not darkening of a dark-skinned individuals where it may not even be seen. It's actually lighting. So it gives an obvious clue. So it's very nice for the doctor to be able to see those areas of your skin. Wood's lamp, a lesion, exhibit a pale yellow fluorescence under an ultraviolet light. So could have, if you use an ultraviolet, could see a pale yellow fluorescence. So here's the picture we had on our slideshow showing the darkening of the skin all down the back. Somebody might, oh, it looks like you're getting a good tan, right? But no, you have a yeast infection. Closer up view of it. Black and white version. Again, still lighter skinned individuals giving a darker appearance. And sorry, I didn't have a picture of a dark skinned individual with the lighter appearance. Superficial phaeohyphomycosis tinea nigra, aka otherwise known as. Tinea nigra, again, superficial infection, outer layers of the skin characterized by brown to dark to black macules. Splotches or spots look like stains. Lesions are not scaly. And this one we change our names. We have a different one for the Forteia wernicki, formerly known as Exophilia cladosporium and Phalonilomyces. Sorry, I was going Mycoses wernicki. So wernicki stayed there, but they actually changed the genus to Horteia. We good so far? Pace good? Lost a couple of videos, I see from the side. Hope you're all still engaged. There we go. So this one, less scaly, just a darker color. Palm of the hand. You know, for some of us, oh, that's a birthmark, right? Might not be a birthmark. So if it showed up later in life, it may be a yeast infection. White pydra, fungal infection of the hair. This one gets, you know, you look at the bottom, it gives the confused with nits. That would be, you know, a louse infection, laying their nits or their eggs in your hair. So you may, you know, it may be confused. Somebody might look at somebody's hair and say, oh my gosh, you got head lice, when they actually have a white pydra, which is a fungal infection of the hair. The etiological agent here is Trichosporin ovoides. Scalp hairs, if it's scalp, if it's pubic hair, it's incan, incline, I guess, incan, trichosporin again there. So depending on where it is found. White to tan nodules consist of hypha and arthroconidia. So again, if somebody pulled your hair back and like a hairdresser and goes, oh my gosh, you got to leave our shop. You have head lice. I see all the white nits in your hair. So this is growing around the shaft of the hair. White pydra, areas of infected. The axilla, beard, scalp, and genital areas. Treatment is shave the hair from those regions, or cutting infected hair. Topical fungicides have been helpful. So, you know, I think I gave you the story of a student in the past with head lice, and I was just like, why did you not get a haircut? I mean, if that's going to help you get over it, let's go get a haircut, because I would have been the first one to say, it's time to shave the long shafts of the hair and go. But I know it was female, so I give her that. But we definitely could have helped with doing a little thinning of the hair, so the treatment could get to those areas. And that was with head lice. So you can imagine trying to use a fungicide with long hair. Black pydra, fungal infection of the hair. Hydrea, Triaea, Horta, Lesions consist of hard black nodules, which are adhere tightly to the hair shaft. So you wouldn't get a confusion here with the nits because they're not white. Again, treatment, get a haircut. And I know that's just harsh, but if it's already on the hair, if it's growing, attached to the hair, the easiest way is to cut the hair below where that fungus is attached. So this would be a darker. So I guess if you were like me and had gray hair and they said, "Oh, you're salt and peppery," it might not be just because I have some dark hair left. So laboratory diagnosis of fungal infection. Skin scrapings are definitely a lot of what we do. We'll be given skin scrapings to look for fungal elements. Using a wet prep with potassium hydroxide. The potassium hydroxide digests the keratin, so the skin cells and cell membranes are cleared and are not confused with the hyphal element. So we're doing a direct examination, and we're going to hopefully show that on Thursday to show you something of the great stuff that we end up with. Here we got Furfur and Wernicke, and just who wants to, we've already said the first two, but who wants to say the M and the H so we can all be on the same page? So we're not changing here. We're just talking about the two we've already talked about. I only see Heather in the picture. Heather, you want to try these two?
You want me to pronounce them?
Yes. What is the M and the H that we've already seen?
Well, one's Furfur and one's Wernicke. Are you asking me the initials?
Yeah. Yeah. Heather's already been through parasitology.
I know H is.
That isn't. Oh.
Isn't it?
Sharug wants to help. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that I think H is histo.
Histo?
Yeah, isn't it?
Get back up. Woo, woo, woo.
Well, I've been trying to find the chapter that we're on, but.
The what we're on?
The chapter.
Oh, I'm just going by what we've already had. I was just seeing how well we were paying attention.
Oh, no, it's not histo. It's Ortea.
There we go.
Yeah, that one.
The M is like Malaysia or something like that.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one, right?
That one.
Molasses.
I also see a Madarella or something.
Molassesia?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know me. I just love doing this. So, sorry.
Are we on chapter 60 in the book?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just kind of gave you a whole big list of chapters to bump back and forth from.
Okay.
So if you have chapters and page numbers.
I didn't see the M word, but on page.
We're in 62.
Chapter 62. Thank you, Alice.
Yeah, 62 is the yeasts. So.
I found that Horseshay or whatever, Wernicke on page 814 for chapter 60. So that's all I'm confused.
Yeah, it should be bounce all over. That's why I kind of introduced. If you look at the syllabus, it's just a mess of pages. We couldn't just say one chapter for this lecture. Here's our, what's this best known as? What's our other word for this, even though you have to really stretch your imagination. So we're kind of getting a slide review too. So what is this one? Otherwise known as Molassesia furfur, as it's a dinner.
Versicolor?
No, it's a dinner. It's supposed to be a food. It's supposed to be a food.
Oh, the spaghetti and meatballs.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So got some real great budding right here. And I know it's stained, and it's really good to see it when it's stained, but you can see that in a wet prep, or you can see it in urine. doing the same thing. Here's Hortea, Wernicke. All right, so that was our wet prep, skin scraping, you know, morphology, looking through the microscope. We can also culture, and we did that in lab. You know, we used the Sabaron's dextrose auger, the SAB auger, to get these going. And you're going to be really amazed here at the end of the lecture about how these have really gone now. They went from, we had some plates that didn't have anything on them last week, and now they're like covered up. So color, the longer they grow, the furrier they get, and definitely color changes. We see some wild growth and when we came back after Thanksgiving. But if you use skin scraping or mix with sterile olive oil and then spread over the auger surface for furfur, the colonies begin as glossy colonies, and then they become dull, dry beige color. So we see that. We think we have, and if we had that one or not, I can't remember. I have a list. Wernicke incubate at a little lesser temperature, 30 degrees. Colonies at first moist, flat, black, and yeast-like. Later, they become black, gray, olive-colored with some aerial hyphae. So when I say they're growing and getting fuzzy, the hyphae are coming up off the plate. They're making their fur. So us that have left stuff in the fridge for way too long and then open it up and go, wow. And there was a picture the other day, I think it was on Twitter, that was somebody's spaghetti, and it had some furry growth. So we're going to see some of these guys later today. All right, so we go back to our hair. I know we just kind of did the black and white and black hydra. So what do we do with the hair? We do a KOH prep, crush the nodules. We have avoides and Hortea, and I know we had an AE after that a while ago. Horte. So we're going to
doing great.
Doing great. Here is Trichosporin avoides. So this would be our wet prep. This just be, hey, we got a hair and we take the nodule and we put it in potassium hydroxide, and we got it under the scope on our slide, and we're looking. Oop, are we going the right way? Now I can't remember. I guess we were. Okay. All right. Just kind of. All right. So SAB with chloramphenicol, avoides, raised heaps. So this would be our modified Sabaron. Raised heap, creamy, yeast-like colony. Hortea, black to brown, velvety. So here's Trichosporin avoides again. Here's the Hydraea, or Aya, or Hortea. So we're going to see these in definitely that's stain, and that's what we're hoping to see on Thursday. We made up our fresh lactopheno cotton blue yesterday, and we're going to add that to our slides for Thursday. Is what you were going to come back and do, which was put a drop of the stain down and then drop that slide cover that y'all put on top of your cookie, and then pick that up. We're going to do that, and then we're going to drop it on the slide with the stain, and then show you what it looks like on the big screen under the microscope. All right, so now we're going to switch to the dermatophytes. They're infections of the hair, skin, keratinized tissue involving dermatophytes. So tinea, ringworm is one of the most common that we see dermatophyte infection. Dermatomycoses, involving the fungi other than dermatophytes, which also invade colonized, keratinized tissue. So let's take a look. So ringworm, you see these. First time I saw a ringworm lately has been on my dog. My dog came back in, looked under the belly of the dog, and the dog was always scratching, right? And it looked like there was something under the skin, like a worm. So that's where it kind of gets its name, but it's not really a worm. So don't get confused. It's not a worm. It's a fung. You know, it's not a worm. So anyway, the vet said, hey, you know, if you let that dog sleep in the bed with you and they scratch, then they're going to scratch that onto the bed sheets, and you laying in that, you definitely could be infected with ringworm. So hopefully, luckily, I didn't end up like this young boy, laying on a pillow after a dog laid there. But be careful when you have animals in your bed. Epidermophytum floccosum. That's that club shaped. I think we have that one on our slide review, not a different picture. Microsporum canis. See that? I know you got to look close, but you see these heads that look very similar. Microsporum gallinae. Here again, from the hyphae. Trichophytum tonsurans. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of this, hopefully a good one of these on Thursday when we put the slide down. Rubrum. Okay, so the dermatophyte native host is humans. Okay. Anthropophilic, they love humans, are the native host. And we have we just went through that whole list, right? Or some of those. We have the zoophilics, these are the animal species are the host. So we have a list of the humans and a list of the animal. And geophilic, so we have some in the soil. Fulcrum is one that pops up. So who wants to go through all these names? Who wants to give me the M and the E and the T? And I'll look at we have a big list, right? Anybody feel confident they got it? How about this MT and M? Or that is M twice. Or this M and T. So what does the M stand for? It's not.
Is
what?
Mycosporum.
Microsporum. Okay, and the T? There's microsporum. T. Got some trichophytums, and the E is epidermophyton. Okay, there's our E, M, and T. All right. And there it is. I just wanted to see if we could get there before we showed the slide with all the answers on there. All right, so pathology, human infection from either soil or animal species. So, you know, we said there were some that were, the N was human, some were soil, some were animal, but we are getting those infections from the soil or animal. Will usually produce lesions that are acute, highly inflammatory, rapidly developing, and accompanied by pain and itching. Pruritus. So the Microsporum species infects skin and hair, but not the nails. Epidermophytum infects skin and nails, but not the hair. And Trichophyton infect skin, hair, and nails. So a very fun multiple choice question on those three choices, right? And you see there's a mix, right? So in the soil, there's micro, right? And there's tricho. In the animal, there's myco and tricho. But there's only one E, right? In that list that we played with, Epidermophytum. All right, the dermatophytoses are characterized by the body area that is affected. So that's kind of, I guess, the names. When I think of barbae, I think of bearded areas. Capitis, scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. Corporis, skin where hair is sparse. Cruris, growing perineal area, jock itch, also a name that may be associated, and crotch rot. Going a little extreme, but that is somebody that has not taken care of that area after they got jock itch, and it gets to the point of really looking awful. So those are our classification characterized by body areas affected. The tinea manum, the palms of the hand and between the fingers. Tinea pedis is athlete's feet. Involves the soles of the feet and the toes and the webs, and that is awful to have, speaking from experience. And the tinea unguium is the nails. So definitely, you know, we think about this, you know, hey, public showers, just a shower in general, you know, that's what we think. It just could be just not even in the shower, just could be your feet themselves, your shoes, your picking it up, but treatable and relievable, and you can get rid of it. And then we, you know, we've hinted at this one with the nails of being back, going out and getting your nails done. Are you at risk of picking up one of these at a nail salon? So this would be the bearded area. Capitis here. And so you see the name, the tinea capitis, and then you see the causative agents. Okay, so what is T again?
Trichophyton.
Tonsurins. And what's the M again?
Mycosporum or
Canis
microsporum, something.
and gypsium. So I remember, I think I remember in elementary school, there might have been 1 or 2 children at school that had these patches that looked like somebody had shaved their area of their head. Definitely could have been fungal infection, kind of like that. Not like that, but that's awful. Gypsium. Corporis. I guess that's supposed to be athlete's feet. Where mine was, I mean, I think my feet look better than this, but Mine was like in between the toes, on top of the toes, but really in between them. That's where it was really painful, itching, constantly scratching through the shoe until it got treatment. That just looks like needs a pedicure or something. Needs some. There's what I'm talking about between the toes. And we may not think of that as like, oh, that's just my feet, right? But definitely may want to get, you know, I think it's, what is it, Lotrimin or something like that, where you can get a little cream or ointment put in between those toes and help with the antifungal there. All right, so that brings us to our laboratory diagnosis by direct examination. We're kind of bouncing, but hang in there. So we're back to direct exam with the Woods lamp. The hair infected by some dermatophytes may fluorescent under UV light. It makes a yellow. Remember, we talked about that earlier. We can also use the 20% potassium hydroxide for skin, nails, or hair to reveal the septate, the branched hyaline, colorless hyphae. Fabric hair invasion. Schonelian, Neely, right? Show in Lenny. How about that? Show in Lenny produces tunnels in the hair shaft which run parallel to the long axis of the hair. They degenerate, leaving tunnels in the hair shaft. Air bubbles rush down the hair shaft in the potassium hydroxide prep. So it's actually invaded the hair. Crusted lesions. Endothrix, hair invasion caused by arthropodophilic species. The hyphae penetrate, grow within the hair shaft, but the cuticle remains intact. Ectothrix, hair invasion, often caused by the zoophilic species, the animal species. The arthroconidia are seen inside and outside the hair shaft. The hyphae destroy the hair cuticle. So you see inside the hair shaft, that's where it is. Okay, it's not growing outside a nodule, it's actually invaded the hair shaft. So again, laboratory diagnosing by culture, Savaron agar, Savaron modified, incubate 30 degrees for 3 weeks. Okay, so we've left, I think, what are we on we're starting 3rd week, right, of growth. That's why we're kind of going to be at the end of our 3rd week. Trichophyton species, urease, Trichophyton mentagrophytes, positive in 3 to 7 days. So we can actually use some biochemical reactions. Trichophyton rubrum, rarely positive, takes more than 7 days. Pigment, we moved to cornmeal agar, which y'all did, right? You moved it over to cornmeal agar before you left. Trichophyton rubrum, cherry red pigment, and the mentagrophytes no pigment. So we can actually tell by what color the change on the plate is, and we're going to see that in a minute. So here is our rubrum on Savaron. Mentagrophytes, no pigment. So you know, hair perforation, using sterile human hair. The only time I remember using human hair in the lab was when I was doing drug screens and they wanted a tuft of hair cut from the patient to check for drugs. So I didn't know if you knew that. If you are a drug user, urine, it disappears, but your hair will keep it as it grows from the point you use the drug. So if you take somebody's hair, so I did that once, right? And usually these are like for custody battles, legal hair collection. The next time the dude comes in, he had no hair. He shaved his head. And we won't say what hair we used next, but we did get a hair selection. So he was willing to provide it, but we did end up getting some length of hair. And usually they'll say you need like a 1-inch tuft of hair to check for drug use through a time period. I know that's exciting. I know y'all probably never heard stories like that. But anyway, with trichophyton, we can use wedge-shaped perforations in the hair, so we can actually examine a human hair to see if it's infected. Microsporum species, a rice culture, growth of sterile, polished, unfortified rice grains, and using that as its growth source. A microsporum, other microsporum species can grow on that. Our autouinion does not grow on that. So a couple of ways of just some old school diagnosing. So there's our hair follicle, nodules. These are the grooves in the hair. All right. So now there's exciting dermatophytes. So we left ourselves a good time to go. So I'm gonna end lecture here, but I'm gonna log, I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna stop the share, starting to do that. Do y'all wanna get a picture now since everybody's here? I think that'd be great. Is that I got immuno, and I know there's some on here for micro. Okay. I'll give you a few minutes to open your cameras because there's somebody, I'm gonna get real close here and be quiet. There's somebody really upset that I got a picture of lecture and she didn't. So get ready for that tomorrow. Okay, we're halfway there. Yay. Hey, we got a guest. We're almost there. There we go. Yay. Yay. Somebody just logged off. What's that? I think we're getting, okay. All right, come on, bottom row. I got Wooey, Houston, Josh. You know, ready? Here we go. From Haley. All right, we're getting closer. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way this time. I think this has got to go this way this time because I got a big screen today. All right, here we go. Everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Okay, and I'm going to leave you with an empty chair, and then I'm gonna go log in. And we'll stay recording. I think you want to keep record. Yeah, let's keep recording because we'll post the whole thing. So I'll go to lab. All right, hang in there.
Hey guys.
Sup, girl? That was Heather. Just saying. Where are you going?
What?
Where are you going?
Going to the store. I need more trash bags.
Right on.
I'm in my pajamas with my dog.
That's cute.
What are y'all up to?
Trying to take a nap, if I'm honest.
Girl. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to stop and get some Church's chicken.
That's a good idea. This isn't awkward at all.
I'm having fun.
Oh, I forgot it was still recording. Whoops.
Oh man. Oops, I forgot to.
Oh, I guess you can. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna. You know, that's okay, Josh. I'm having issues too. So because my phone thinks I'm driving. So let me see if I can change that. Here we go. All right, good. Start video. I figured it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'll swap that. There we are. Okay. So let's start. Everybody see this? Well, I guess I need to share that screen. Can I share that?
We can see it.
You can see it?
Now we can't.
No, you can't.
As long as you're the only one talking, then we should be able to see it.
Let's see. Screen, photos, icon.
Lauren, your dog
Okay,
is
you
the
got it.
best thing ever.
Did it again?
She's in a
Is
monster.
that it? Y'all can see me? See my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so do I need to talk so that it shows up? Okay, so I'm going to try to talk through this. So here is our first one, Aspergillus. Yes, I think so. Flavus, remember that one? So this is it today. Y'all see that? So that looks like it's like a pile of like dirt growing. Aspergillus flavus. And then we had Kathy had the same thing. Now remember, that's not what it looked like when you left it. Can y'all appreciate that? Can you see it? Yes or no?
Yes.
The this was the Tropicus. It didn't do much different. Kind of looks the same. Smells good. Really has a good smell. We got in fluffy. Here's penicillium. A couple of these. I don't know if you can tell the darkness in that one. The greenish, moldish. So you can see there's some growth there that kind of looks like what we started with, but then you get this, woo, yeah. And there's one of our, let's see, we label this. Did they write down the right? Ponsessia, yeah, Ponsessia here. Really good stuff.
Is that the one that I had?
Yes, that's yours. Changed a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, a ton. That's
Ton. This one was one that didn't have anything.
Curvularia. I think this was the Curvularia. One still didn't grow anything, but we had, it's RT. Sorry, somebody made a noise outside my office, the elevator. All right. And then there's one more. Everybody else was the yeast, but this was Scopularopisis. And then what I wanted to show you was what some of your cookies look like. So this is Charug's cookies. This is Lauren's cookies. And what we're going to do on Thursday, we're going to take those little slides off and stain them. Oh, here's Mary. Wow. Okay. That's Mary's. Y'all see that? Yay or nay? Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. But I'm not getting any feedback. Thought maybe I was talking to myself. Charmy, green. Most of these are green. Here's a good one. So we're going to take that slide up where it's growing underneath it and then stain it so we can look at it under the microscope. So what we were doing is we just wanted, like, you can really see this one right there. It's going to have a lot of stuff attached as we bring it up. Okay. Any
This sucks. I
questions?
wish we could come in and do that.
You wish you could come in and do that.
Yeah, that was like the most exciting part was labs, especially micro.
Unfortunately, we are going to just have to show it to you. But it's just that, I mean, you're going to see the result. You did all the work. All we're going to do is just take it off and put it on a drop of stain. Take you 2 seconds to do that. All right. Okay. Thank you. Oh, did y'all want to see Ms. Farmer? You see her? Hold on. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Miss y'all.
It's you too.
Miss you too.
Okay, we're going to go in the lecture. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. So now we're back. No, it's easy.
Okay. Any questions? I got some chat. Don't forget to clean your phone. Oh, okay. Funny. I'm not sure why my webcam won't work. Yeah, sometimes with Zoom on that, you have to check it. I had to unplug mine and plug mine back in so the computer will pick up. If it's a laptop, you just have to check the audio video when it says that you want to test it when you log in. You have to sometimes do that and change settings just to get your stuff up. All right, that's all I've got. So we're gonna see you guys tomorrow for immuno and back again on Thursday for micro, and that we'll do the slides and at the end of lecture on Thursday. Good to see everybody. Stay safe. Mask up. Vaccine's almost here. And see y'all next time.